Good evening and welcome to the regular council meeting for Wednesday, November 27th, 2024. We're starting at 6:01 p.m. At this time, I'd like to confirm the agenda. Are there any emergent items from any of the councilors tonight? Anything from lead services or admin? Then I'm looking for a motion to confirm. Councillor Peterson?
Your Worship, I would move the council adopt the November 27th regular council meeting agenda as presented.
Thank you. All in favor? That motion is carried. Members of the public are welcome to provide comments regarding items on the agenda in person during the council meeting, virtually or in writing. Should you wish to provide public comments virtually or in writing, please fill out the request to speak at a council meeting form that can be located on the town's website and submit it to isadmin@strathmore.ca by the end of the day on the Sunday before the council meeting. In order to ensure procedural fairness, council requests that the public refrain from speaking on items that have been or will be heard through a public hearing process. Tonight, we're coming closer to the end of our budgeting process. The staff and finance department administration have been working hard for weeks and weeks on this. Council has done some sessions with them as well. I think we're in a very strong position financially. We've done good things as far as making decisions for the community groups that came to us. We're also in a position where we have some funds available to do options with. So I think with combined effort, we can make some good things happen tonight. So good evening, Liana.
Good evening, Your Worship and Council. Tonight, I'm in front of you to kind of recap what we did in our budget deliberation last week on Tuesday, and then kind of lead us through what our next steps are here within the next budget deliberation. So, next slide, please, Veronica. So, overall, we're going to start with the recap.
Sorry, Liana, if I could just stop you for a moment. Are there any public comments tonight? I should have asked you that at the start. Any public comments before we get into the budget information and deliberations? Okay, thank you. Carry on, Liana.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to go through some of the operating budget impacts. Then if you have any questions about capital budget impacts, then we have some community group funding impacts that we've already discussed, and then we're going to go into any council-initiated requests that you'd like to discuss. Next slide, please, Veronica. So up here on the screen, you'll see all of our amendments that we have made through the first budget deliberation. You'll see a $50,000 reduction for the financial stabilization reserve. We have the next listings are all our community groups. So we have the Celebration of Lights, a reduction of $5,000, Library Board, a reduction of $3,300, Happy Cat, a reduction of $20,000. We added money for Community and Bloom Society of $5,000. We added money to Strathmore Youth Theatre Company of $5,000. We then added $5,000 to Mainsprings Pregnancy and Family Support Association. We added $5,000 to the Strathmore Performing Arts Festival. We had a reduction for the Chamber of Commerce of $10,000, and we had an addition of $3,200 to the Ag Society. Administration has had some additional information presented to them that we'd actually like to discuss with you before we make final decisions on community groups, but I would actually recommend that we move in camera to discuss these. But can we go to the next slide, please, before we do this? So overall, what we have in our operating budget, we have the $50,000 reduction for the financial stabilization reserve. Administration found a transfer to reserves for the citizen satisfaction survey. We had it originally planned to happen in 2025. It's actually going to happen in 2026, every 2 years. But we need to transfer $7,000 in our non-reoccurring expenditures. Our capital budget, we have no amendments, and then I just went through all of the community group funding, so we have a slight reduction of $15,100. So overall, our net effect where we started with $100,000 worth of surplus, so we had a tax impact of 4.5%. With these reductions, we are now sitting with a 4.15% tax increase. That is still leaving us with a surplus right now of $158,000 and change. Next slide, please, Veronica. So basically, as this is your budget, I need to ask you questions of, do you have any questions about the operating budgets, any motions that you want to make about the operating budget, and then we can debate them. And I do recommend that council does go into in-camera to discuss some of the new information we have on some community groups.
Deputy Mayor Wiley?
Sure, two things I'll put forward tonight is one is to return the surplus that's sitting in the budget. I use the words surplus. Did you just say it was 158,000?
Yes, it is 158,000 right now.
Yeah, so I'll be moving, probably not right now, but eventually to return that to the taxpayers, thus reducing the proposed tax increase. And the second one I would like to do again is just one more attempt to reduce the water recirculation system for $300,000 from the budget.
Okay. So I
Thank you.
would like to let you guys debate, and I was going to go sit back down so I can help track some of this information that you guys are going to debate tonight. I can speak to you through the microphone from sitting.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Langmaid?
Thank you, Your Worship. I think I'd like to kind of request before we move into debate tonight, I'm curious to hear what this additional information is from administration in case it might impact the decisions we make further on in the evening. So I'm wondering if we could move to go into camera under section 24(1)A at 6:08 p.m.
Thank you. We have a motion to go in camera at 6:08. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing and hearing none. All in favor? And that motion is carried. We are going in camera to discuss those items, and then we'll be coming back out in public